Ridiculous. Hey, boo.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm the one with the topic.
You are. I'm
Mhm.
very excited about this.
So, babe, what do you
Tell me
think
all the things.
about okay, so this goes back to, that episode with Kanye on Sway from many years ago had a
Mhm.
really huge impression on me. It left a mark.
Mhm.
There's so many things that came out of that conversation, and one of the things that I wanna point out is wealth and
Mm.
what he saw as the pinnacle of wealth. And he named, these billionaires as the pinnacle of wealth. And that makes
Mhm.
sense. But
Mhm.
I also thought about how if you it's good to have a vision. It's good to have a carrot like this thing that's way out there you're striving for. But when it hits on a gut level and it impacts your self-esteem and it impacts
Mm.
your worth and how you value yourself and others, for me, that's a red flag. To me,
Yeah.
that's where you need to consider redefining what the bar is. And what
Mm.
if you redefine wealth and made yourself the bar, or your grandmother, or your grandfather,
Mm.
or your cousin? I don't know. And what if they're the bar and you surpass that? So I want to talk about this idea of redefining wealth because I think that if especially for people who historically do not have a certain range of income, if they're looking at themselves as less than, then it
Yeah.
now it turns into mental health. I hope I'm making sense.
No, I actually
Okay.
really love this question, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I think a lot of times we look at wealth and we only have a handful of people to look at. And a lot of that also includes a very powerful group of people, right? So wealth and power aren't necessarily the same. Like when you're saying this, what if we are the bar? I love redefining that because I do think wealth should be relative. I think it should be relative to who we are and where we come from, what our ancestors did. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not Gates or Winfrey or Jay Z have done. So, what would that look like to you? Because here's the thing, we have our name brand stuff, like, we drive nice cars or whatever. I mean, I feel rich just because of the life that I live and my mentality and my gratitude and stuff like that, but wealth for me is I'm happy, I have a successful relationship, my kids are healthy, I have food to eat, my health is good, and am I just reframing it to make myself feel better, or do I really feel like that's what wealth is to me? And right now, I feel like that really is what wealth is to me. But what does it look like to you? How do
Uh,
we go about redefining it?
one of the things that came to mind when I was reflecting on the episode several years ago, this question came up. For me, mental health, active, the practice of actively healing generational wounds to me is reparation and wealth. My joy, moments of peace, that is generational wealth.
Yeah.
When I have high self esteem, when I see the beauty in us, in
Yeah.
myself, in others, that's wealth. And especially when I'm doing something that makes me feel like I'm walking in my purpose and
Mm.
making whatever you want to call it, creator, God, Olimare, is it Yahweh, like whatever you want to call
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
source, that's when I feel the richest. And then money wise, I think you it's both and. I think if you don't have the other things I named with the money, it's just a joke. You can have a bunch of zeros in your account, but you're so poor in other ways.
Right.
For me, I would want each individual to define what that is for them
Mm.
and let that be their metric, not look at other people and what you perceive is happening with other people to be what you're striving for.
Sister Ramsay working for my collection plate. Okay. Took me to church. Dang. Okay. Okay. No, I love this. I love
Mhm,
this because I think about, okay, well, what do I leave my kids or my grandkids or whatever when I go?
mhm,
And that is a statement or a testament to my wealth. But I'm gonna say I was kind of brought up to be afraid of everything. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid of taking risk. I was afraid of watching certain things on the TV because of, how religious I was raised.
mhm,
I was afraid of uh bugs. Well, not that many bugs because I used to chase my sister around with some bugs, but worms. Like I was just afraid of things on every end of the spectrum. And as an adult, at this big old age,
mhm,
I still find myself afraid of a lot of things. And to me, not being afraid and showing my daughters or showing others that, to me, that is a statement. That is a legacy that I want to leave behind. And I never thought about it until you just said that. Like I can have a life insurance policy.
mhm,
I could write a book. I could do whatever. But really kind of giving the finger to fear right
mhm,
now,
mhm.
I think that right there makes me wealthy because that's going to open up a lot of doors for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's look at the definition of wealth.
Okay. I like a good Webster's definition.
Well, this is Google. Let's go to AI mode.
Close enough. Okay.
So, according to Google, wealth is the total value of all assets, what you own, what you own,
Interesting.
what you own, like minus all liabilities, what you owe
Hmm.
at the single point in time. Bro, you hear that? Like what you own, it made me think of like people holding themselves accountable and
Mm,
being responsible for their choices, what you own, the decisions you make, right?
mhm,
And then
mhm.
liabilities, minus all liabilities, made me think about negativity or people baggage, other people's thoughts and beliefs about you.
Yes.
What you owe, you don't owe anybody a damn thing. Like literally, you don't owe anybody anything. At a single point in time, a single point in time, you could spiritually move in and out of wealth. Unlike income,
Facts.
this is interesting that it says unlike income, which is the flow of money you receive over a period, wealth is the stock of accumulated resources that can provide long-term financial security.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, redefine wealth. I can take that very tangible definition and still apply it in a very spiritual way.
Mhm.
So I love the way you broke that down. And I think that there is something to be said about the bar that people have held themselves to historically about what wealth means and what they believe it means or what we're told that it means.
Yes.
And so I love that for me right now, wealth is to have no fear.
Mm.
Wealth is to practice allowing
Yes.
and be open and receive, and doesn't mean any of my brand name or anything like that because I can't really enjoy it unless I have the love that I need in my life and good health and good relationships. And I believe because of my spiritual beliefs,
Mhm.
I believe that those things are hand in hand. I believe that they mean the same thing. It's not some ideology for me. Now have homework assignment for myself to really truly embody that wealth. And I feel like once I embody that, then the other things will come to me anyway.
And then I would even argue that the other things only have wealth because you defined it as such. Even though the
Mhm.
society has told you that thing is that, for me, not to me, like it is only a symbol of luxury or wealth once I agree to it. I have to
Right.
agree to it.
Right.
Just like if we say something is beautiful, I could say it's not. And if I disagree, I can choose to agree or disagree with what those symbols of
Mhm.
wealth are.
Mhm.
That's
Girl, we are wealthy.
yeah. You just have to decide.
Well, I love that. That was a good question. I
Thank
was
you.
not ready for that. I wasn't ready I wasn't ready to be taken to church. I was not ready to really think about, for me, what wealth was and
Mhm.
what it means to me and
Mhm.
how that can truly impact me if I make it relative to what I know and my environment and my
Mhm.
ancestry, my bloodline,
Mhm.
not what one of the 13 white guys that run the entire universe is doing, right?
Here
So
we go. I can't. I
I
cannot.
know, okay, okay. I'll
We
end there, I'll end there. I'm good, I'm good.
I'll be right back.
Alright, alright. Listen, I know I always go there, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with this. This has been Noelle and Tara with a difference of opinion. Please come back and hang out with us next week. If you enjoy these discussions, I would love it if you like and subscribe, and I'll get a little bit. I do need a hug. Peace, y'all.